Hello everybody and welcome here to the Premier League predictions on this video here on my YouTube channel. My match day 1 predictions all begin on Friday for the opening match of the season. The champions, the defending champions, Arsenal. They take on against Coventry City, their first Premier League game for the first time since 2001. And the champions of the championship will play against the hosts of this game, the champions of the Premier League, Arsenal, at the Emirates on Friday. My personal prediction between Arsenal and Coventry on Friday, I do think Arsenal's going to be the ones who will pick up a win against Coventry City. I'm going to go 3-0 to Arsenal. I think opening day of the season for us, I don't think Coventry will cause us any problems. I think Arsenal will go to the game very comfortable in this matchup. So I'm going to go 3-0 as my score prediction between Arsenal and Coventry. Now, moving on to Saturday's game, it's Hull City versus Man United. Hull are back in the Premier League for the first time since 2017, 9 years ago that Hull were last played in the Premier League. They do play against Man United, though, a team who did very well last season to get Champions League football under Martin Carrick as he took over from Ruben Almiron halfway through the season. They also got a good team, very good team of players. Obviously, they signed Tielemans. There was a big signing for Man United during the transfer window, during this transfer window. And obviously, they've still got some players who definitely want to prove Martin Carrick that they are top players in the team, with Cunha, Bremo as well, Fernandes as well will help out, Rashford as well, back playing for United now after being on loan from Aston Villa and also Barcelona during the last 2 seasons. But he's back as a United player, and I do really think that Man United will play very good football. I think the score's going to be Hull City 0, Manchester United 3 as my score prediction going into Saturday's game against Hull and United. So I'm going to go 3-0 the score prediction for the match. Okay, we'll move on now to our next game here. Everton versus Crystal Palace at the Dickinson Hill Stadium. Everton's first game of the season. They play in Palace, and this will be a very important matchup to fulfill between Everton and Palace. What am I saying Arsenal for? Everton and Palace. Bit tired, obviously, after work. I'm a little bit all shaken, but to try and record this video here is Everton and Palace. Going into this game, I'm going to go for a draw, I think. I think that Palace will get themselves a goal in the matchup, and I do think Everton will score as well to make the game level pegging. I don't think there could be any winners in this matchup between Palace and Everton, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw as my score prediction. My score prediction at Portland Road between Ipswich and Sunderland. Well, Ipswich are back in the Premier League after a season's absence. I've been relegated from the 2024 and 25 season. They got themselves straight back up to the top of the leagues of the Premier League, and they do play Sunderland, however. Our team had a very good season last year, Sunderland, back in the Premier League last season, and they got themselves that reward to play European football for this new season coming up after coming 7th in the league. 7th position they qualified for in the Premier League. In my score prediction, I'm going to go for 1-0 to Sunderland, I think. I think Sunderland will be the ones who will narrowly get a result out of this game, because I think with Ipswich, they might play good football as they're back in the big time of the Premier League after a season's absent. I think they might do well in the game. I think they're going to give a lot of pressure on the Sunderland in the match, but I think Sunderland might nick it. I think they might do, and get that 1-goal lead and win the game. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Sunderland as my score prediction. Now, my score prediction between Nottingham Forest and Leeds United at 3 o'clock on Saturday at the City Ground. I do think that Forest will make it harder for Leeds United, obviously, because Forest are at home. Leeds are obviously away from home, though. This will be a very tricky game, I think, on who will get the 3 points. But I do think that Leeds and Forest will pick up maybe a draw out of each other. I don't think they're going to be any winners in this game. I think that there'll be goals in this matchup between Leeds and Forest, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think that Forest will get a goal, and I think Leeds will score as well. So I'm going to go for Forest 1, Leeds 1 as my score prediction on Saturday. Now, moving on now to the game against Brentford and Spurs. Well, this game at the Brentford Stadium, they do play against Tottenham on Saturday at 5:30 kickoff. And I do fancy Brentford might pick up a win against Spurs, I think, because Tottenham last season, poor season. The season before that, another poor season. I don't think some Spurs will do crap during the start of the season, though. I do think they're going to probably pick up a couple of defeats, even from this game against Brentford on Saturday, and also a couple of games. I think they might end up losing matches, and they might be bottom of the league by September. But I think they might bounce back and get some good results and move up the table, obviously, because I did put Spurs to come 6th in the league at the end of the season. So I'm going to put a prediction that Brentford will go and win the game against Spurs. So I'm going to go for Brentford 3, Spurs 1 as my score prediction on Saturday at 5:30. Now we move on now to our next game here on Sunday. We do have Brighton and Aston Villa. This will be a very important matchup on the cards for both teams. For Brighton, however, this will be a very important game. For Aston Villa as well, that's also going to be a very important game because both teams will have a good start into the season. But if I've got to put a score prediction between Brighton and Villa, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think both teams will get a point out of each other. I think that there'll be no one winning this game whatsoever, I don't think, between Villa and Brighton. I think both teams will be at it the whole game. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw as my score prediction between Brighton and Villa. Now we move on to the game against Man City and Bournemouth at the Etihad Stadium. The score, I think, will be very easy for Man City, though. Even though that Man City did very, very poor on Arsenal's matchup at the Community Shield to lose 3-0 at the Cardiff Stadium on last Sunday. But as of their first game in the Premier League this season, I do think that City will pick up a massive win over this game here. I do think Man City will pick up the big 3-goal cushion against Bournemouth. So I'm going to go for a score prediction of 3-0 to Manchester City on Sunday. Now we move on now to my next score predictions on Sunday. We have Newcastle and Liverpool. New manager at Newcastle. No Eddie Howe. No Tonali, no Bruno Guimaraes, and also no Anthony Gordon. A different Newcastle team approached this game against Liverpool on Sunday. Liverpool, however, they got a new manager as well, like Newcastle though, and Dario Ariola is their manager for the Liverpool team. And this will be a very interesting matchup to see if Newcastle might somehow win against Liverpool though. But I do think that Liverpool will easily beat Newcastle away from home at St James's Park Stadium on Sunday. So my score prediction is going to be Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 2 as my score prediction on Sunday. Now my score prediction between Fulham and Chelsea at the West London derby matchup between these two sides. This will be a very important game. This is going to be, by the way, between Chelsea and Fulham. Definitely at the West London matchup as well at Craven Cottage will be a very big fortress that Fulham will deliver against Chelsea on Monday. Chelsea, on the other hand, they also got a lot of their players all back as well from the World Cup break and everything like that. Especially Morgan Rogers. How would he deliver as a new Chelsea player in the team? Because I think Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer and João Pedro will make it a lot harder. I think as their attackers they've got in their team, they might even dominate the league. I think they could do this season, maybe. But I don't think they're going to be anywhere near that. I think they're going to probably not do as great. But at the same time, they're playing against Fulham in this West London derby matchup on Monday for this week. I'm going to go for a win for Chelsea. I'm going to go 3-1 for Chelsea. I think Fulham will end up losing the game. And plus, Chelsea do not want to lose to Fulham in this derby matchup, especially in the first game of the season of the Premier League. So I do think Chelsea will pick up a 3 goals to 1 victory over Fulham. So I'm going to go Fulham 1, Chelsea 3 at full time. And that's all we have time for here right now for my official Premier League predictions on the first match day on my video here on TGI Football. If you like my video, go and give me a subscribe on my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys for another episode or another match day predictions for next week. Until then, have a good evening, everybody. Peace out.